What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is Force, Power Book 4, Force, Season 1, Episode 4. So, we start this episode off. We have Tommy and Gloria doing what they do best, having sex. A total throwaway scene. Nothing to see here. Moving on. We're over to the barbershop where we see Jannard coming in with his boy, E, I believe. Was it E? D-E? And he's trying to tell him, listen, if you're going to take a swing at the king, you better not miss. And he's telling him maybe it's not a good idea for him to be coming for his brother, because they got, they having this whole planning session at the barbershop. And he was like, how we just going to be in your brother's barbershop planning to take your brother out? And he was like, man, I don't care about him. I don't care about none of that. He was like, I sacrificed so much to run this organization. I had dreams that I had to give up. I wanted to go to college. I had other things I wanted to do. And he not just gonna come home and push me to the side like I ain't put in work. And E is trying to remind him, but remember, like a lot of the soldiers that are part of the organization now, their fathers and their fathers like roll with your brother. Like, they're not gonna take this lightly. And he was like, I don't really care. So we see old boy JP's son. He comes in, and of course, he like, hey, what's up? And Jannard says to him, you got some smart boys that you can get and round up. And he was like, smart? Like he had to think about which one of his friends was smart. Then he talking about some, yeah, I can get my boy so-and-so and so-and-so. Yeah, his mama messing with an Albanian. You mean albino? So then Jannard was like, listen, forget about the smart part. Just round some friends up. I take care of their brain. You just get the bodies. So I'm thinking, you have started this war with your brother and you don't even have an army. That's why when he said last week that he intentionally threw the fight, I'm not buying it. I don't believe it, and I'm not buying it. Because how you intentionally throw the fight, but you don't have no plan? You don't have no soldiers. You ain't got no army. You don't have no plan. Yeah, miss me with that one. So then we see Tommy back at his loft with I called her Ariana last week, I think, but it's Lou child, the girl with the Scarface. So basically Tommy is telling her that he gotta go to his plan B, and his plan B is to get to the Yardies. And she was like, you don't want to mess with the Yardies. And he was like, listen, if you don't want to do it, then you can be out. But this what we got to do. Like, our first plan fell through. We still got these drugs that we sitting on that we got to get rid of. Like, And so, we see them starting to map out the city once again and figuring out how they're going to bring the Yardies into the situation. So then we see Claudia meeting up with a friend of hers down to the pool hall. And she introducing her new drug to him. He takes one bump and he is sold. He is like, whoa. He was like, what in the world is this? And she was like, the future. He said, I tell you what. And he brings her a whole suitcase full of money. And he was like, that's for my pre-order. But what you can tell is that they're friends. You can tell that they're friends, that they have a relationship, that he knows her. And he knows the situation with the father. Because he said, listen, you the only Flynn that I really fuck with, but he tells her, listen, I got you. I want some of this product. I'm doing business with you, but you need to make sure you are careful. Be careful. So then we see Tommy meeting up with Diamond. They had like one of them little corner diners, and Tommy talking about something, just give me some coffee. And when I tell you the two black men that I guess are owners of this diner cussed him out, talking about something, what do you think this is, Starbucks? Like, what you mean you just want some coffee? You think that we stand over this hot stove all day long for you to come in here and order some coffee? You need to get you something. So Tommy was like, well, let me just get some of them cookies. So they bring him some damn chocolate chip cookies. So Tommy was like to Diamond, he's like, we good? Diamond was like, we good. He said, I don't hold nothing against you. He said, and I don't hold on to them grudges. He said, I used to do that, but I realized that life is short and I can't carry all that with me. He was like, we good. So then here come Vic. Vic come through there. And Tommy was like, you called Vic? He was like, he had a proposition. let's hear what he got to say. So first Vic coming there like he about to sit down, and Diamond was like, ain't nobody tell you can sit down. So he said, I want to apologize. I know that, he said, I don't believe for a minute you had anything to do with my aunt, you know, and what happened to my aunt. He was like, all right answer. Now you can sit down. So they're sitting down and basically they're talking about doing business. You know, they're breaking up how they're going to do this business together. And Tommy brings them the idea of going to work with the Yardies. Now, we know the last time Vic tried to do a deal with the Yardies, child, it didn't go so well for him. So, you know, he's letting them know that it ain't, that he's not sure about that, and he's not really sure how he feels about the scenario. They also, you know, of course, got to discuss how they're gonna cut the money up, you know. So the guy comes over to ask Vic what he want to order. He's talking about just give me some coffee. And Tommy gives this look like, oh shit, here you go. And he was like, man, this must be some white boy shit, right? That was probably the funniest part of the episode for me. It was real cute. So Tommy had Scarface following Claudia around because, you know, he also told her that Claudia kind of came up to him and she said, listen, you know, Claudia, you know, she might be out there, but daddy don't let her get close to the product. So I'm not sure what she got going on. So Tommy says, listen, I need you to follow her, find out what she got working, you know, what she working on. So she's following Claudia around the whole damn episode, child. Then we see Polly going, he's in like a little homeless, little like encampment type situation. And we find out that his son is there. His son is strung out on drugs and he's homeless on the streets. He bought him some food and some clothes. And he was like, listen, like, fuck the food and fuck the clothes. I need some money. Polly ends up giving in and giving him the money. Now, I'm not really sure the significance of this scene, but I feel like something with the son. Maybe we'll find out later that there's some sort of a connection. But for now, it was just something, you know, just a little quick scene. So then we see Tommy, Diamond, and Vic. They're meeting up. They're at the meetup spot where they're going to meet up with the Yardies. Excuse me. Where they're going to meet up with the Yardies. And they're at like an old abandoned warehouse where Diamond's mom used to work. So they're talking about that or whatever. Next thing you know, Diamond gets a phone call from E, who's on lookout, letting him know, listen, 5-0 is coming your way. Like, y'all need to get out of there because they coming. So then we have this Jeep full of dudes with masks on, hanging out the sides with damn automatic weapons, running, and it's 4 or 5 cop cars chasing after them, going through the yards. And this was just a weird scene because it was like, at what point did these men just start having guns hanging out the window? Why are y'all chasing them? Were you it was just weird. It was weird. So of course they jump in the truck so they can hurry up and get out of there. But when the police roll by, one of the police officers that's chasing them is, you know, Officer Bennigan's. And he sees them. He sees Diamond and he sees Vic. And of course, both of them are like, well, shit. But what I didn't understand was none of the police cars stopped them. None of the police cars, like, it was only 2 cop cars following them, but y'all ain't called for backup. Y'all didn't do nothing. It just didn't make no sense to me. That whole scene, it was just weird. I didn't understand it. Whatever. So then we see Claudia meeting with Mia, you know, the girl with the drugs, and she lets Claudia know, listen, this is all we have. And she said, well, we're gonna run out quick. I need you to make some more. And then Claudia realizes, like, she said, wait a minute, you don't make it. And Mia tried to lie and say she did, but she was like, what we not getting ready to do is do that. I need to meet the person that makes that's making this, because we need quality. We need some quantity, but we need it to be quality as well. So, like, clearly you are the middleman. I need you to go get the person that really know what they're doing. Okay. So later on in the episode, we actually see that happen. We see them meet with the chemist. And it was an interesting back and forth for a minute. And then, you know, because I felt like she was just trying to negotiate her best price. But then they turned it into a whole extortion, like, well, we got your name on the paperwork, and we know it was you that ordered this, and we know it was you that ordered that, and we'll take it to the feds, and you'll lose your, you know, your license, your medical license. And they basically, like, blackmailed her into doing it. But I feel like she was willing to do it. She was just trying to get her right payday. And Mia, you also need to watch your back, because now that Claudia knows exactly where to get the drugs from, she really don't need you no more. So on the way back from the warehouse, Vic is in Tommy's car. And Vic tells Tommy, well, let's go ahead and get a drink before we go in. And Tommy was like, nah, another time. So they get to the bar. Well, at first Tommy says no, but then I guess he agrees to do it. So they get to the bar, and Vic is getting ready to go in Gloria's bar. And Tommy was like, yeah, nah, I'm good. So then Vic comes over, and Vic was like, so I know you fucking her. Tommy was like, okay. He said, so that doesn't bother you? Tommy said, listen, let me explain something to you. He said, I don't put no woman over no money. So if that's what all of this is about, you ain't really got nothing to worry about, because I'm gonna handle my money first. And then of course he said something about you're not worried about me putting two in the back of your head. Tommy was like, no, because I wouldn't need to. Like, I could put one in the back of yours, okay? And later on in the episode, Tommy breaks everything off with Gloria, basically letting her know, listen, it's been real, but I'm find somewhere else to get a drink, get my drinks for a while. I don't feel like that's the end of Gloria. I feel like Tommy thinks it's gonna be the end, but I don't think it's quite the end. So we're back at the barbershop, and once again, Jannar is pissed off at Diamond, because he was like, so when I was doing work with the Yardies, it was a problem, but now Tommy come through, and all of a sudden it's a good idea. All of a sudden it's cool for you to do work with the Yardies. And Diamond was like, see, the difference is you was messing with the corner boys. I was messing with the head honchos. Like, that's two different things. What you was doing was nickel and diamond. I'm multi-millionaire. Yep, I made up a word. So, but of course, Jannar can't see it. He don't understand it. And once again, it's all about the fact that it's Tommy. It's Tommy. And Diamond realizes that they just still can't seem to get it together. They still can't, they just can't get on the same page. Now, Vic goes to see Daddy. And of course, Daddy already knows what he been out there doing. He been out there in them streets with Diamond and Tommy, and he's still trying to make deals and wheel and deal. And Vic actually kind of stand up to Daddy a little bit. He threw his glass down, told his daddy, listen, you don't understand. I'm trying to keep us relevant. I'm trying to help us build up this business. And, once again, his daddy told him, listen, you do what I let you do. Like, you do what I allow you to do. You're not in charge of nothing around here. You don't know nothing around here. Like, you running shit because I'm letting you run shit. And then later on in the episode, he rolls up on Tommy, and he's like, why? Like, I'm not understanding. Why are you here? Like, what is it that you need, and why are you here? Now, he rolls up on Tommy in front of Gloria's bar. So I don't know if he was there looking for Tommy or if he was there looking for Gloria, but we about to find out. And Tommy basically lets him know, like, listen, I'm here to make my money. I'm here to, do my business. And Daddy Vic lets Tommy know, like, don't be bringing my son into your bullshit, because I'm telling you now, if you get my son in some shit, I'm coming for you. And Tommy was like, okay, do what you gotta do. Like I'm not taking him nowhere he don't want to go, so do what you gotta do, So then we see Scarface. She going back home, and the Iranians, the Albanian. They got me saying Albanian child. The the people are there looking for their drugs. The I said the Albanians, but that's not what I meant. They there looking for their drugs, right? And of course they're torturing her. They suffocating her. They want their money. I mean, they want their drugs. And, for a long time, she was like, I ain't got it. I don't know what you're talking about. And she hard, telling them to kiss her ass and everything else. And so finally, they torturing her with a cigar. He getting ready to put it in her face. She was like, okay, fine. I'll get you the drugs. So she ends up sending Tommy a text. First of all, they let her use her own phone to send somebody a text. They don't know who she done talked to. They don't even know what the text says. But she sends the text saying, bring the drugs and bring Ghost with you. So, of course, Tommy immediately, when he reads the message, he immediately knows, oh, shit, there's a problem. Now, when he gets that text, he's sitting with JP and JP's daddy. So we finally get to meet the daddy. And the daddy is, he leery of Tommy because as he should be, you know. And he explains, listen, I was a 17-year-old daddy. I ain't know nothing about being nobody's daddy, but I didn't want to perpetuate the stereotype either. I was going to take care of my child. I was going to be there for my child. Once again, Tommy lets them know that Kate is dead to him, and he don't have nothing for him. He ain't calling Kate. He don't want to talk to Kate. Now I know that's a problem for JP because Tommy, you met your dad, like you were able to, but JP can't. He doesn't know the other half, right? But we talked about how the daddy did the best he could to raise JP and keep him on the straight and narrow. And I feel like the purpose of this conversation was for us to know that JP really ain't about that life. Like, at least as far as we know so far, JP ain't out in them streets and he ain't about that life. Now, we still don't know what the hell he is about, and we still don't know what he has done, but for this, we know that he ain't really about that life. Now, Officer Bennigan, he done pulled Vic over, and I think he thought he was about to, like, flex on Vic, but Vic ended up flexing on him. Basically told him mind his business and said, you just keep collecting the money that we pay you so you can take care of your sister. Now, again, I feel like that scene was basically for us to find out that there's something going on with Bennigan's sister, which I guess is the reason why Bennigan is dirty. I don't know. I guess that's all we're supposed to get out of that. So, then we see Scarface with the two dudes, and they waiting for Tommy, and of course they're getting impatient. He finally takes her phone, which I have no idea why she had her phone all the time anyway. He looks to the phone and he sees Tommy's name. So they're speaking in Serbian, and but she heard Tommy Egan's name, so she knows that they know Tommy. Although she didn't tell Tommy that. At least not on camera she didn't. But he reads the text and he's like, who is Ghost? And of course, just as he says who is Ghost, bullet starts flying. Tommy kills them. She stabs them. They get rid of the car. She lets them know, listen, there was another one, one of the dudes had a twin. He done went to go get the boss. And Tommy was like, oh, well, who's the boss? And she said, I don't know, but it's a woman. So, of course, then Tommy immediately thinks, oh, my gosh, Serbians, it must be chick from New York. I don't know how he made that connection, but he did. But I feel like Tommy has suspected all along who those drugs belong to, which is why he kept asking her. Who do these drugs belong to? Who do these drugs belong to? So, eventually, she ends up calling Tommy. Now, how she got Tommy's phone number, child, we don't know these questions, okay? We don't know these answers. But she called Tommy. Tommy was like, I was wondering when you was going to call. So they end up meeting up with each other. Well, no, I'm sorry. Before we get to that, let me pause. Tommy and Scarface go to the barbershop. Tommy tries to tell Diamond who he's doing business with. And Diamond was like, listen, I'm not messing with the Serbs. Like, they don't play fair. Like, they play by a whole different set of rules. And listen, I know I owe you one, and you can call in your marker. You can do what you need to do, but this ain't it. I ain't doing it. Tommy was like, cool. Well, can I leave Scarface here while I go run and do what I gotta do? Like, can she stay here? And he was like, sure. And they done got Jannard babysitting Scarface, which of course is weird on so many different levels. But of course, remember, Jannard owes her $8,000 because she was doing a job for him and she never paid him. Now, to hear him tell the story, she ain't finished the job. She said, well, I ain't finished the job because you was trying to have sex with me, so I left rather than have to kill you. Like, you kept trying to get in my pants, so I left. So then he's like, well, he's trying to come on to her again. So, he was like, let me touch your scar. She was like, pay me my money. So he was like, well, listen, help me kill Tommy. She said, nope, that's never going to happen. And he was like, why not? She was like, because it's not. Like, I'm never going to betray Tommy. So, whatever. So then he was like, fine. Let me touch the scar. She was like, pay me 10 grand. So now they went from 8 to 10, but he paid her. Now we also see that he's in there doing drugs, right? So I'm like, that's not a good look, Jannard. That is not a good look. That you in there, you know, you doing what you doing. Um, but she ends up letting him kiss her. Right before Tommy comes to get, touch her scar, but he ends up kissing the scar too. And that's when Tommy comes back to get her, and so they're going to go meet up with the Serbs. Again, this scene absolutely makes no sense because there's nowhere in the world that Tommy is supposed to get the drop on. Tommy ain't nowhere in the world Tommy's supposed to get the drop on the Serbs, right? They knew he was coming, and anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So JP, we'll get back to it in a minute. So JP's son rolls up on his daddy's establishment with his boys. Once again, they're going to spray the place up. JP comes out with a damn bat. Now, both of the dudes got guns, and JP got a bat. And he pulls a gun on, the friend pulls a gun on JP, but the friend doesn't, but his son doesn't let the boy shoot him. He shoots a bullet, bullet in the air to, break up the scene. And JP is looking at him. They staring at each other. And his son is waiting for him to recognize him. He's waiting for him to know who he is. He said, yo, why you keep shooting up my establishment? Like, why you keep bothering me? And he's staring at JP. And I know he's staring like, you got to know it's me. You got to know it's me. And of course he doesn't. And he ends up just running off. Now, while this is going on, Victim went down to the bar, flirting with Gloria, child. Gloria told him, listen, you can come in here, you can try to be all sentimental and stuff, but ain't nothing changed. I feel the way I feel. Just because you done pushed Tommy away, don't mean that ain't nothing changed over here, because it hasn't. So, finally, we have Scarface and Tommy. Like I said, they done met up with the Serbs. How in the world they got the drop, I don't know. But Tommy ends up killing all of them, including the boss. And child, that's where the episode ends, child. That's where the episode ends. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in those comments. Peace.